And next up, I can see Bill is joining us here. Hi, Bill. Oh, I think you're on mute, but a comment. There we
Hi,
are.
how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you based at the moment?
I'm based in San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, fantastic. Well, somewhere we know all too well. We've done shows there, obviously GDC every year, so fantastic.
Yeah, glad to be back.
Yeah, good to have you as well. And you're going to be talking about putting the developer first from veteran to indie. And that's great. That's fantastic. That's exactly what we look to is, you know, helping developers and putting them forward on this indie track.
Thank you. We share the same goal.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So yeah, whenever you're ready, if you I'll stay here while you share your screen or anything, and there we are. And we're looking forward to seeing your track, your talk. So I'll leave you to it, but I'm here, and I just want to say quickly, like you've all been doing, if you've got any questions for Bill, throw them into the Q&A, and I'll be here at the end. But away to you, Bill.
Thank you, Sophia. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Wang, CEO and co-founder of Skystone Games. It was an honor to be asked to speak about the indie development and publishing and the PG Connect Digital. Thank you for spending time with me today. I'm going to share some of our business philosophies and the view on the industry. Okay, so Skystone is founded by David Breivik, the creator of Diablo, and me. We have been friends for many years. We trust each other and have complementary skill sets to provide valuable services to developers. We began to work together to build a world-class developer and publisher of multi-platform games 3 months ago. That's how Skystone was born. Before Skystone, I founded the Western subsidiaries of 4 large Chinese publishers twice, that is Perfect World and Giant. And David, he started 3 studios, including Blizzard North, Flagship Studios, and Greybeard Games. So I spent most of my career, about 10 years at Perfect World. I started Perfect World's US office back to April 2008, when I moved to the Bay Area from Beijing. As many of you remember, the financial crisis hit the US in the second half of 2008. Nobody wanted to invest in indie developers. I was lucky when I met a small team in Seattle called Rooney Games. They were looking for funding, but had been turned down by others. Even though they had nothing to show me back then, I really liked the people there. So I invested $1 million into this startup on behalf of Perfect World. The team was able to launch Prototype 1 and Prototype 2, which have sold 8 million copies so far. I also invest in a small developer called Unknown Worlds in San Francisco back to 2012. The studio was running out of money. Even though the 2 co-founders could have made much more money if they worked for large corporations like Zynga or EA, they still want to pursue their dream and create games they feel passionate about. So they took very little money, around $40,000 a year in San Francisco. I was really impressed by their passion and perseverance. So I invested in this small team of 6 developers on behalf of Perfect World. About 3 or 4 years later, the team launched Subnautica and sold 8 million copies. Double Damage is not a developer I invest at Perfect World. It's by a team of 2 people. They launched Rebel Galaxy and sold over 500,000 copies. When I was at Perfect World, I also have built strong relationship with 3 platforms. For example, I began to visit Valve regularly back 2008 and pitched them to do free-to-play publishing on Steam platform. I appreciate our trust, and they allow me to bring Dota 2, CSGO, and Steam to China. So that's about my background. David is my partner, and many of you have heard him before. He's the father of Diablo. He's one of the most talented developers in the industry. He had run large organizations like Blizzard North and Gazillion, which had several hundreds of employees. David is passionate about development. He can do programming, design, and art by himself. Most recently, he had worked on an indie developer by himself for 3 years. Because he's a developer and understands publishing as well, he can provide valuable input to studios on making better quality games that can appeal to a wide audience. Okay, so for Skystone, is a global multi-platform publisher with a goal to be player-first and developer-focused. We want to offer value to players by publishing only high-quality content. Some developers have had bad experience working with large publishers. We are different. We treat developers with respect, and they only work on win-win partnerships. Well, while in the typical industry, it's hard to tell whether a game can be successful or not. So in our view, it's fun to lose money, but we should never lose our reputation. Reputation is the most important asset for a publisher. We'll take care of our developers first. As a result, we can take care of our reputation. So gaming is one of the best industry to work at, but they're also very difficult. The great thing is that there's no monopoly in this industry. A small team can grow into a billion-dollar business like Blizzard, Riot, and Supercell have done. But it's also very difficult. It's really challenging for most of developers. Discoverability has become a notorious issue as we have seen a flood of games in the market. Based on our calculation, like over 1,000 titles are released every week in the market. Even high-quality games may not be successful. Many young developers have entered the industry, and new studios have mushroomed thanks to the shift from retail to digital and lower entry barrier with a wider adoption of affordable development tools. They lack experience in development and knowledge on the business side. They need guidance on development as well as on publishing. So Skystone can bridge the gap by inventing a new way to help developers succeed. We can help developers make better games, better processes, and bring attention to their creations. Besides traditional publishing services, we want to develop long-term relationships with developers through investment, like have done with Runic, Underworlds, and Double Damage. It will allow both parties to have aligned interest and focus on the long-term success. We will want to create a family-like environment so that our studios can share know-how and the best practices. Eventually, we can create a network effects that benefits all the participants. In terms of publishing, we provide full suite publishing services from PR, marketing, community management, localization, QA, to platform relations. We have existing relationships with platform owners, media, and influencers. Most of my team members have been in the industry for over 10 years. We have experience with both free-to-play and premium games. We launch games on PC, console, and mobile. We work on large-scale projects like MMOs, including Neverwinter Online and Marvel Heroes Online, as well as small indie hits like Torchlight and Subnautica. Many people ask me how you can stand out compared to much bigger companies. From our perspective, there are several advantages being small. We're like a close-knit family where we value input and treat our members with respect. Everyone is encouraged to express his opinion and ideas. We're nimble and agile, so we can make quick decisions and adjustments we needed. For example, when we signed our first titles, it took us about 3 days to sign term sheet and less than 1 week to get long form done. Also, we had direct connections with our partners. Different from when you work for large companies, you had to go talk to your contacts, and your contact need to talk to his manager or talk to their CEO. At Skystone, it's very different. It's very easy to communicate that effectively without going through the chain of command. David and I are always available to talk to our partners. So we have a few principles to follow when we grow our business. Number one, talent first. Talent is key for success. Life is short. We only want to work with great people. We'll travel around the world to find talent studios and treat them with respect. Number two, multi-platform. Going multi-platform is the best way to maximize returns and reach out to as many players as possible. Number three, mid-core to hardcore. We know what we don't know. We stick to what we know the best. So if you develop a hyper casual games, we are not the right partner for you. We'll focus on all the platforms, but we won't stick to mid-core hardcore space. Number four, low development cost. David and I and most of team members are in the San Francisco Bay Area. The cost of living have been going up so much that it's very difficult to retain talent. For example, even if you pay $200K or $250K a year for a senior programmer, he or she can still double his or her pay by jumping to Apple, Google, Netflix, or Facebook. So at Provide World, we see the issue. It's very hard to retain talent. That's the reason we prefer to work with developers in low living cost regions like Europe, Canada, Asia, or South America. Number five, well, free PR and influencers coverage. So my team have launched a mobile game called Puzzles Wager back to January. Without spending any money, we got a lot of coverage from media outlets and also influencers. We got over 70 articles and videos from media outlets. And we got over 100 influencers to share our game with our subscribers, which are over 30 million people. Number six, before I candid, we are in a small industry. As I said, reputation is the most important asset. We will never make a one-sided deal that only benefits Skystone. David and I are very straightforward and always available to our partners. So we will share everything with our developers, good news or bad news. So we're here where we are. We have already signed 2 titles, and dying from developers in Beijing called Vanimals. The game will be launched on PC, console, and mobile in year 2021. It's a survival zombie adventure game. It's a very emotional story. A mom needs to teach her son how to survive in a zombie world. We showed the game at the PAX, E3, and the Gamescom, and got very good reviews from players and the media reporters. The second title, Space and Crew, comes from studio in São Paulo, Brazil. It's a procedure-generated co-op adventure game. It's a really neat game made by a small team, less than 10 people. So this game will be published on PC and console in the first half of 2021. We plan to publish 4 to 6 titles next year. Besides the 2, we are working on a few more games. We plan to bring 2 or 4 titles to the market next year. So stay tuned. So here's our propositions. If you are a developer, you may ask me why I should work with you. My answer is very straightforward. Number one, we are trustworthy. we care about our reputation, and we take care of you very well. Number two, we have a proven track record of helping developers succeed. I've supported great developers like Torchlight developer Runic, Subnautica developer Unknown Worlds, and the Rebel Galaxy developer Double Damage. And David, and as a developer, he also have a great reputation in the developer community. Number three, we have a capacity to supply not only publishing services that exist at traditional publishers, but also take it to the next level by leveraging David's development skills. David will work with you as an EP. He will get involved into development and help you make better quality games. In summary, we believe we can make a difference and help more developers succeed and grow the industry together with you guys. So I have traveled around the world to identify talented studios and help them succeed for the past 12 years. One of the biggest joys in this industry is to uncovering hidden gems, projects and talent that are special, but don't get much attention they deserve. Please feel free to contact me if you are interested in working with Skystone Games. My email address is bill@skystone.games. And on our website, skystone.games, you can also submit your pitch materials. We'll respond back to you in 24 hours. That's our promise. So that's the end of my presentation. Feel free to ask any questions you may have.
Hi, Bill. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Like a really great ethos there at the company about wanting to support and help indies. And it's really impressive, all the people that you've worked with.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that's our goal, help developers succeed.
Yeah, and you know, we've got one question here from the audience, and given what you said about, you know, if you want to submit your game to you guys to show it off, I think this is an interesting question. So one of our audience members has said, nowadays, publishers focus more in investing in teams than IPs. Can an inexperienced team with a great game have a good chance of working with you?
The answer is yes. We don't care about, well, we care about people.
Yeah.
So when I work with Unknown Worlds, they have no much success before, but I like the people, so I invest in the studio. For Space and Crew team, the team we signed this year, it's also a small team. They have no much success in the past, but they have some great ideas. So that's the reason we signed with them. It's about not about whether they have done something really successful in the past. It's about the people, whether they're passionate about the game they want to make. I will ask many times, what kind of game you want to publish?
Yeah.
What will make game you want to publish? My answer always, it's not about what we care. It's not about what we want to publish. It's about what you want to make. You want something you want to make, you feel passionate about, something you believe in. That's the kind of team we are looking for. That's the project we want to publish.
Yeah, and I mean, on that point, do you look for games or teams in specific regions, or are targeting specific regions, or are you more looking for you know, is it global, or is it just anyone who's got something interesting to show?
Well, we believe talent are everywhere. So yeah. For the past years, I travel every month to Asia and Europe. And also I've been to South America as well. Yeah. My partner, David, also speak a lot of events. Last December, he went to Belarus and Ukraine and give a speech there. So we believe talent comes from everywhere. And we don't talk to developers no matter where they are. We care about talent. We don't care about geographic location. We have no restriction on genres.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic, because that's exactly why, you know, from my side, we do the Big Indie Pitch all around the world, because it's just, there's an amazing amount of talent in all sorts of different places. And, you know, like you mentioned, working with a team in Sao Paulo in Brazil, and actually we see a lot of good talent coming from South America at the moment. So I think it is good for for publishers to be aware of the more global reach of gaming at the moment, and also the global talent pool.
Yeah, exactly. Over 12 years ago, we began to invest in developers. Most developers I talked to were in North America or Western Europe. But these days, when I talk to developers, I think talent comes from everywhere. Last year I've been to Croatia, Romania, Serbia, Poland, Czech Republic. I met really interesting developers there. And some of them have been very successful. I think they're catching up.
I agree.
Developers.
No, I definitely agree. And one person has put in a question into the Q&A, which is on the topic we're discussing, which is, do you feel developers in different countries have different insights about games and the reach that they have? Does this culture influence gaming ideas a lot?
That's a very good question. For example, I worked with many Chinese developers in the past. Someone asked me how I can make a game for the Western market. My answer always like, try to work and succeed in your home country first. For example, there's still a big culture gap between East and the West. If a Chinese developer wants to succeed in the West first, I think that's priority is wrong. You make sure you succeed in China or other part of Asia first before you think about Western market. Similarly, if Western developer told me, okay, want to focus on China market, tell me how we can succeed in China. I tell them, don't do that. Try to succeed in your home market first. That's our view. We're in the global market, but still there's cultural differences. So try to focus on your home market, the market you are familiar with first, before you think about global.
I think that's great advice. I think that's really, really great advice for developers is, it's not to say think small. It's just, you can only do so much at once. So focus on your area and then you can grow from there as success begins.
Exactly. It's hard to have a crossover success across East and West. I know I can count number of successful Western titles in China with my hands.
Yeah.
That's my success there.
Yeah, exactly. No, definitely. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I think, it's been fascinating to learn more about Skystone. And, like you said, hopefully there's a lot of indie developers who are in the talk or watch later on YouTube or something when we put it live and get in touch with you, because I think what you guys are doing is really great work. And I think you've got the right ethos of a publisher. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the stuff that you're working on. You said to keep an eye out for it, and I will definitely be keeping an eye on it.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you for having me. And thank you for listening to our speech.
No, thank you for being here. It's been insightful and very interesting. And, I'm grateful to have you, especially as one of our final speakers for the show. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.